Howdy do there. Welcome back to Classic Large Car Garage. We've got some updated information on our Bullnose Kenworth, and we're going to share that with you. So stay tuned. All right, everybody, we've got the official results here. First of all, I'm going to tell you how I got the information. I actually tried to call some of our local Kenworth dealers, and being that these trucks only have a 5-digit serial/VIN number, they really can't help with much of that. But what I was told is a Kenworth dealer parts guy can request information on these old trucks from Kenworth themselves, but probably a lot of parts guys don't know that. So what I ended up doing, I ended up reaching out to the American Truck Historical Society, the ATHS. I'm sure a lot of maybe our viewers know of them. They're there in Kansas City, Missouri, I think. Anywho's, reached out to them. They gave me the gentleman's name, Tony Martin. So Tony Martin out there, thank you. But he is the Kenworth guy to ask this information on. He's got a connection with Kenworth. It took literally less than a day. Gave him the VIN or / serial number. I actually found it on top of the right frame rail here on the flange, so it was the same number as the tag on the dash, so that was good news. But basically gave me the I'm sure you can see that from where you're at. Basically it's the chassis readout, so it gives kind of a lot of information about the truck, when it was new, who it was sold to from the get-go. So really, honestly, like any Kenworth truck, I think you can call the ATHS, whether it's kind of like Leland down there or John down on this end down here. Like, you give them the VIN, they can tell you the year, the make, the model, what it was built with. Like this paper has like the color schemes like it was supposed to be painted with, and so it'll tell you all that information. So this truck is a 1951 Bullnose, and I'm just going to kind of go through the info here. Basically a 200-inch wheelbase. I did look at some of this from the get-go here. Let me flip through my papers. We'll get to that on the back end, the rear ends. So basically this truck was built for, well, the buyer for the truck was leased to Los Angeles, Seattle Motor Express. And I think we might try and get a picture of what it looked like new. So basically it had like a box on the back, because then in the instructions here it kind of talks about how it had all your glad hands, all your air, your electrical run to the tail end of the frame. Let's walk around here. So the engine is a Cummins, and it says on here, and you can see the tag under here. You can't see it now because it's cloudy out. You can just see the top end of the tag. It says NHB. So anybody that's watching that knows these old Cummins, you can correct me at any moment. I tried to look it up online. So it looks like the NH series were kind of like the 220 Cummins, but then this truck has a turbo on it, so I don't know. I'm assuming that's maybe like a 250, But then I also talked about how this truck doesn't have the air cleaner bonnet on top of this. Actually says it has a hood on top of the right side over there. So I'm guessing like that truck probably would have been like a 290. It does have the let's see, what does it say for the transmissions? It is a twin stick. Let's see here. It does not, it gives a lot of numbers and specs and stuff of stuff that I would know nothing about. Pretty neat information on here though. It tells you the tires, they were 12 ply tires. Let's see here. Looking through here, we'll just kind of jump on to this other. It's windy out here today. Okay, so going back to the LA Seattle Motor Express, it talks about how the truck was supposed to be green all over, which you can see the frame is green. You can see under a lot of the blue that the color is green. And then except for the grill and belt line is what it says, and that was supposed to be white. Then it says it's supposed to terminate at the door hinge. There was supposed to be a V stripe on the bumper, and that was supposed to be green and white. So that would have been cool if that was still green and white on the bumper. So then,
I wonder if that's the belt line.
I would think so. Yeah, probably in between. Yeah,
White and green breaker there.
Yeah, in between those two body lines. So technically, green and white is what the original colors were. So that's kind of neat to see. So back here, it does have the aluminum frame, so that was original. So I think I had mentioned in a couple other videos, and Travis can kind of swing the camera down here on the side of the rear end. So these are Mack rear ends, and it said it somewhere. Basically, these were customer supplied rear ends. So for whatever reason, the customer wanted the Mack rear ends, for whatever application, for whatever reason, that I'm not sure, but the customer supplied them. So that's kind of an interesting fact, because I thought that was kind of interesting when we first got it, like what, which it could be. And I was kind of talking to Tony there at the ATHS, and we were kind of talking it over, like it could be that these are factory Kenworth housings, and maybe somewhere down the line somebody put these in, but it definitely shows on the build sheet that they were ordered, or they were put in per customer request. Let's see, I'm trying to find anything else on here of value. The delivery date was October 18th of 51. So I don't know if that would, kind of like the newer days, if that would classify it as a 52. You know how the later half of the year they kind of consider that the next model year. But so 51, 52 range. I think a lot of the stuff on here is probably original to the truck. It did talk about the aluminum tank hangers, and I'm just trying to look at a lot of this information. A lot of it's just a bunch of numbers and letters, so whatever a lot of that means, I'm not totally sure. But I can get up in the truck with you too, and we can kind of show the inside. I don't know if we've ever, I know we've showed kind of the passenger side a little bit, and it's been a bit since we've looked up inside this truck. And I can honestly tell you, it hasn't gotten any better. It's a bit on the rough side. I'll trade you the papers for the camera. Oh no. So again, I bought this truck from the Tacoma, Washington area. Travis is looking at the paper now, so he's going to comb through it and kind of see if I missed anything. So this was out in the Tacoma, Washington area, and the story is that a gentleman out there named Harold LeMay, and I'm sure some of you maybe know that name or know information about him. Apparently he was a pretty big guy out there on the West Coast. Had a salvage yard, sanitation yard, and then also collected a lot of cars, and you can look them up. It's supposed to be in the Guinness World Book of Records, I believe, for the largest car collection. But there's a couple museums out there that you can see his car collection. I think he passed away like early 2000s maybe, so it's been a bit. But the backstory is, if you've never seen the other videos that we've made on this truck, is he used this truck. This thing did have a car hauler body on it when we got it, but it was very, very rickety and unsafe, so we actually got rid of it and took it off, and hopefully plan to get this thing going again someday and do some different stuff. But he used this, I think, to pick up a lot of the cars that he found along the way. So that's kind of some neat history about this truck. And then for whatever reason, it was parked in the bushes. Here's your old tachograph here. I found this to be kind of interesting, this turn signal thing. So it doesn't turn like your typical. It's got these push buttons. So there's your left, and there's your right. And then there's like a button on top that pops them out. So I thought that's kind of cool. It'd be neat if that still worked. So anywho, I don't know if I can, I might pop up on the back frame rail and get you a look underneath there, because the doghouse is kind of tilted up and it's kind of being hung down and held down. But here's your old button for the steering wheel. Pretty cool. Here's your twin sticks. There's no air shift in this unit. Just good old classic two shifters. Back when trucking was trucking. Let's see if I can do the old do-si-do here. All right. Ooh, that's sharp. So here, down inside, here's your Cummins engine from the top side. And one of these days we'd like to get it in and get this all cleaned out, because there's some remnants of animals and just needs a little help, needs refresh. Here's your lube refiner underneath here. Just really interesting how all this stuff is kind of tucked underneath here, and these cabs didn't tilt, so if you wanted to work on this, you had to climb up in and out and work on it up inside the truck. Travis, did you find any other information or anything of value?
Probably not value.
So there is...
Looks like it had a heater under the driver's seat.
Heater under the driver's seat.
Factory defrost fan. It says it has mount turn signal left hand side of cab immediately above belt line. which obviously that's not there anymore.
I know it was supposed to have like some different mirrors too.
And it says, yeah, the mirrors are Acme rear view mirrors, complete with brackets, mount on the front corner of the cowl. So they were in addition to standard cab mirrors.
It's kind of funny too. It's got a Mac mirror on it upside down. Where'd you go? You walking around? Yeah, and also this is on the tag. It's a KCC 523. So that's the model number of it. But it is a 51, 52. Still need to verify the engine size, but that's going to be my guess. Like I said, anybody that's a Cummins guru or knows anything about these old trucks, I am more than welcome to learn, more than welcome to listen to your expertise. Like I said, it does have the turbo on it. And yeah, so I don't know if I can get you in there. Where was it? Thought it was up on the frame rail here. I don't know if that's showing up at all. I thought the number was up in here, but I could be wrong. It's getting cloudy out here, so might not have any good vision, but let's see if I can get you around to see inside the turbo there. See if there's anything good going on in there. Hopefully. Maybe
It says
not.
operator R.S. McLean. I wonder if that's maybe the guy that ran it.
Maybe the guy that ordered it originally.
Tacoma, Washington.
Okay. So this has been a West Coast truck all its life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
It probably ran whatever they put in the box from Washington to LA.
yeah, Washington to LA, and
It'd
then
be cool to find a picture of it out on the coast or something.
right. Yeah, this was kind of like a little painted part of the guy's sign, the Harlod LeMay. Got a car on there. From all the things I was told, and I believe it was verified that he owned the truck through the museum, but before they sold it, they asked the museum, like, hey, do you want this? You can restore it. And they said, nope. And I was the lucky guy that said, yep. I don't know if I consider it lucky, but
I wonder if the trailer would have been part of the original trailer.
I don't know. It looked newer.
Did it?
I don't know. Yeah. So again, there was a trailer, but there was no rear hitch or anything back here when I got the truck. So to have gotten the trailer as well, it looked more modern. It definitely looked.
I don't remember the picture well enough.
I mean, it was 2 years ago since I bought this thing, so I don't think I had those pictures anymore. I may be able to contact the guy I bought it from, but this thing was parked in the blackberry bushes for a long time. Like, this is only a fraction of what came back from the West Coast. But anyway, that's an update on Harlod, our 1951/52 KCC 523 Bullnose cab over Kenworth. Hopefully we can eventually get this in and do some work with it, see if it'll even crank over. I know it probably won't run too long. I don't know if you can see in through there. Something got the radiator pretty good right in that area, and the core back there is in pretty rough shape. So, but that, once again, thanks for tuning in on an update, and like, share, subscribe. As always, Travis is signing out.